manufacturing in his home country, bringing with him a wealth of experience, hard knocks, a vision, and a passion to make a difference on his own terms. Join us again, Martin Han, here tonight on Thought Leaders.
Martin, I think it's a perfect metaphor to start out with a bit of your story that talks about running away. Tell us about that. How did that happen?
Well, the story was that my mom, when I was going to college, she bought me a really expensive house in Hawaii. And when I was going to school, I was left on my own. Most individuals that go to college, they want to be by themselves and everything. I mean, I was really by myself. In the vicinity that I was living in, it was pretty much the elites of the elites. And you guys my house was in the Hawaii Low Ridge. I mean, this house was like $4 to $8 million home. You know what I mean? Had an elevator.
Well, everybody has it at that stage in their life as well.
I mean, I was very fortunate. I mean, I was very lucky. And my mom was very adamant with my protection. But, you know, with any kid having that kind of access, I mean, I got into trouble. You know,
As any kid would. I mean, how can you handle all that, right?
I mean, just the abundance of the vehicles. I mean, I had 3 cars, I had 2 Mercedes, BMW, and I just had it all. And being in that age, 18, 19 years old, it's just excess there's no limit.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, you start burning out. You know, late nights, the neighbors complaining that I had very loose women all around me. So
Kind of entourage, right?
I mean, a little bit of everything. And for me, growing up the way I grew up, a lot of these individuals in these high society places are not accustomed to the people that brought there. They're a little bit more real. And the administration and everything started complaining. And for me, I always go against the grain. I believe right is right and fair is fair. And these people, doesn't really matter if they're a part of the norm or a part of society. If you're real with me and you're part of my crew, you're part of my family, I accept you like a brother. So, you know, long story short, I got in trouble and I got an ultimatum. Get out of the house or come back to Chicago, where the family has
businesses as well, huh?
So for me, I believe that if I set my mind to it, I can do whatever I need to do to make it happen. After I left my home and pretty much the comfort and the umbrella of the family, I was homeless. I mean, I used to jump from house to house and didn't even know where my next meal came from. I mean, at one point, I used to live in vehicles and been able to maybe eat every 3 or 4 days. And what I would do is I would actually take showers and brush my teeth in public parks. And
it was such a big contrast from the life you were used to living, right?
It humbled me because you have to understand, man, going to school, riding up with the SL 500 top down, and then all the girls, even though they have boyfriends, I just grab them.
And then this.
You just humble yourself so far down that you didn't even know what to do next. But it's actually the animalistic behavior of surviving that made you just keep on driving forward. And what happened is that I needed to work. I would get odd jobs. I started working for Sears and Roebuck in Alamana. And then I needed a night gig. And that night gig, I mean, I was a club promoter. And what happened is that I was introduced to a man named Norman Cowley that was promoting in the Hyatt, Waikiki. It's called Deep Blue, and that's how we met. And till this day, he is my mentor and my brother, and brothers-in-arms, my family. And he is the founder and CEO of MMA Hawaii. So he was the one who brought me into the industry.
And this is the early stage pioneering move of MMA in the States. So tell us, what was it like being there in the early days?
Rules and regulations were there, and a lot of promoters were making a lot of money. Well, MMA Hawaii was a news source, so we weren't just an organization that divides promotion. We unified the promotion for Honolulu.
Building those relationships in such a tough business with different personalities. Tell us about how you use that to work your way up.
I mean, a lot of the times, at that moment, a lot of mainstream companies like GNC, National Guard, they wouldn't even deal with the MMA industry because it was just a little bit too rough. In my end, and in regards to Hawaii's market, really helped bridge that gap. Is because if you looked at me, I was able to, in regards to my upbringing, able to bridge the different societal levels.
Speak their language, right?
I could speak the language. I knew the corporate world. I knew what they were looking for and how to pretty much make the MMA market pleasing. That's before the industry of the female fighters, before how the masses, this was before social media really erupted.